Okay. Okay, before we start, I just want to point out that I'm not going to name any names in this video, and I'm not trying to attack anyone. I don't hate the people who do this, and in many ways I actually admire it. So if you do recognise any of what I'm talking about today, don't send any hate to these people. I do not condone that, and there's no way that any of this is worth anyone feeling attacked. Okay, obviously this relates to a lot of dark topics. I suppose that just comes with the territory of talking about politics, especially these days. But you know, I can't personally speak to the full extent of everything going on in the world. I must fully acknowledge that I'm a privileged white guy in a relatively wealthy nation and stable financial situation, and I don't want to give the impression that I'm speaking on behalf of anyone in a more vulnerable or personally affected position than me. In fact, there are a lot of creators and voices online who deal with these things much more directly than I do, and so I would actually encourage you to check them out. Okay, first up, I just want to point out that I'm not an expert in any of this. Sure, I watch a lot of YouTube, but I'm not a media theorist or a political analyst. I've not done any major research or data sampling to back up the trends that I'm talking about. This is a mostly anecdotal and subjective take on the way I see certain areas of the online media landscape these days. So take everything I say with a pinch of salt, and definitely don't base your opinions purely on what I have to say. Okay, the trend that I'm talking about today is by no means universal, and not everyone does it. In fact, many of the most popular YouTubers in the space don't do it at all. It mainly seems to be a habit of much smaller creators and communities, and so, again, I don't want to seem like I'm hating on them. I don't know their situation or what they're going through, and so I don't want to be too judgmental. But it is something that I've noticed and I would like to talk about. I just think there's a risk that pointing it out to specific people could potentially exacerbate the problem. Okay, I just want to remind you guys that this is just my opinion. It's okay to disagree with me, but please don't be hateful in the comments. I'm happy to keep discussing the issue, but there's no reason to be mean about it. Otherwise, I'm super keen to hear your constructive criticism, any suggestions for future videos, or anything you think I left out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Love you guys.